Okay, so for the online, I hope my voice is clear for you. Online, can you please confirm me? Is it clear or not? Okay. So in the last class, which topic we have seen? Replica set done, deployment done, right? And apart from them, rollouts done, right? Okay. So in today's session, we are going to see multi-node cluster. That is chaos. Oh, like I think Satyavan, you will get the verification code. Can you please give me the verification code here? Okay. So let me begin the session. So today's session is gonna be very interesting. Why? Because till now you have worked with single node cluster, right? What is a single node cluster that you have used? Minikube. Tell me one thing: is a Minikube really a safer way to use in real time? No. Then why we learned it? For the basic concept, correct? If I can't tell you the Minikube, so directly if I tell you the cluster, you miss the basic concept. Okay. So in real time we use Minikube, but on developing environment and testing environment. But for production routines, we are not going to use it. It is there, but only for which environments? Dev environments and testing environment. But for the production, you cannot use the Minikube directly. Why? Because it's a single node. See, in Minikube, I said a concept that is replica set. For example, if you delete a pod, automatically one more pod is going to create or not, sir? That is going to indicate the replica set, which is a good one. I appreciate very much. But for example, unfortunately or fortunately, and your entire Minikube node got deleted. Is it going to recreate? Then how will the user access the application? Entire if a pod gone, we can recreate. But if enter cluster gone, we can't do anything, right? So that is the reason using the Minikube is not a safer way. So in order to make our application 24/7, which concept we gonna use in real time? Hey, no. You need to tell high availability first. If I talk about 24/7, that means high availability. What is the meaning of high availability? Maintaining more than one server. So that is called as cluster. So already we seen Minikube cluster, which is single node. But in real time, apart from Minikube, we are going to have some other cluster. That is like there are a lot of clusters, but I'll tell some among them. First one is going to be your Cubedium. Cubedium is a multi-node cluster. That means you will be having one master node as well as two worker nodes. Let me go and draw the diagram for you. So that is the one master node as well as I'll be having two worker nodes. Simple like your Docker Swarm actually. Same. There also we create multiple servers, generate the token and join them. Here also same thing. But if I use Cubedium, that is going to be the manual process. Which process? So if you are a DevOps engineer, are you going to encourage a manual processor? No. So what we are to do now? Automation. So in order to automate, we are going to use the KOps here. What we going to use here? KOps. So KOps is a multi-node cluster tool. It's a separate tool. It's not inbuilt in Kubernetes. It's a separate third-party tool, free and open source. Okay. So with the help of KOps, I'm going to provision the infrastructure. Provision means create. What is the meaning of provision? And what is the meaning of infra? This is very, very important point. Open your index page of your book and write this point. Infrastructure means resources used to run application on the cloud. What is the meaning of infrastructure? Resources used to run our application on the cloud. For example, if I have a application, okay, that application need EC2 to deploy. That application need load balancer to distribute the load. That application need auto scaling group to create number of servers as per the load increase. So all of them together, what we can call as infrastructure. Again, I'm telling infrastructure refers to resources used to run the application on the cloud. What are the examples here? EC2, VPC, ALB, it's auto scaling group actually. I need to call it as ASG, but I have given AGS. Okay, ASG. Fine. So this KOps can create the infrastructure. Just like your Ansible. We've seen in Ansible creating EC2 or not, sir? But it is more advanced than Ansible, which can provision infrastructure very quickly. Okay. So here I said Minikube is a single node cluster. If all the pods is gonna be rely on the single node. If the node got deleted, then all pods will be gone. So this is what we discussed till now. Okay. So now coming to the multi-node cluster, I said two things: KOps and Kubedium. Apart from that, we have Rancher. Rancher is one of the cluster. Again, Kubespray. It is again one of the cluster. There are a hell lot of clusters actually. Okay. So now coming to this tool, especially KOps, it's a Kubernetes operation, full form. Okay. K for Kubernetes, O ops for operation. It's a open source and free tool that help you to, like let me, it's an free and open source tool. Free and open source tool. So the main purpose is to, it is used to create cluster. It is used to create the cluster. Okay. Destroy the cluster, upgrade and maintain the high availability production grade Kubernetes cluster. That means here you can use this tool. You can create the cluster with this tool and you can destroy the cluster. Destroying means deleting. You can upgrade and you can maintain the high availability production grade cluster with the help of this single tool. Okay. So depending upon the requirement, this KOps can also provide the cloud infrastructure. See, for example, in my cloud, I want to create EC2 or I want to create the load balancer. This KOps can do. I'll show you, like after the point, I'll show you. And coming to the next point, KOps is mostly deploying in clusters of AWS and GCP. That means you can deploy your cluster on AWS cloud as well as GCP. But in Azure, you can't use KOps. Why? Because Azure will have inbuilt services. Azure will never use third-party services. Okay. AWS can use third-party service and GCP can use, but Azure will not use any third-party of services mostly. But as per the official documentation, currently this tool is supporting for AWS and other cloud providers such as DigitalOcean, GCP and OpenStack still in beta stage. Beta means like these are developing and testing only, not full-fledgedly given, but these people are still working on the KOps tool. So again, let me go and explain one more time for all of you. So till now, we operate the Kubernetes on Minikube. That means all pod will be relying on single node only. If that single node gone, entire thing will shut down. So in order to maintain high availability, we are going to use KOps, which is nothing but Kubernetes operation. So it's a free and open source tool. Okay, that is used to create, destroy, as well as upgrade the high availability production grade Kubernetes cluster. Which grade Kubernetes cluster? Production. So depending upon the requirement, this KOps can also provide the cloud infrastructure. As well as this is most commonly used for clouds like AWS as well as, but other cloud providers are still on which stage? Beta stage. So is the intro about KOps clear for all of you know? Simply if you want me to tell on diagrammatical way, if I want to create a cluster on the cloud, where I want to create, sir? Cloud. Let's take like this. I want to create this cluster on my AWS cloud simply. Okay. For example, let's take. So what I can do is I can use a third party tool called KOps. That tool can create the entire cluster itself. I don't do anything. I'll run only one single command. That single command can go and create as many servers I want. That is the thing about KOps, but it's a third party tool which is free and open source. So all in is the intro of KOps clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box once? And one more thing I want to tell for you is if you learn KOps, that is gonna be very, very helpful for all of you. In real time, nobody knows how the complete knowledge about KOps, but here I'm gonna give you the complete knowledge about KOps. Okay. So please maintain some clarity while I'm explaining. Okay. If you get stuck on anywhere, let me know. Okay. Fine. So coming to the advantages, of course, it can automate the provision of AWS and GCP clusters. It can deploy high availability Kubernetes master. That means till now we used only single master node, but we can use multi-master node also. If one master node goes down, we have the second master node to control the cluster. Supporting of rolling cluster updates. That I'll tell what is the meaning of rolling cluster updates. If I give you somewhat of practical part, so I can explain the advantages easily. First of all, let's go and do the practical part. So then I can come back to the advantages and I teach you. So that will give you the more clarity actually. Fine. Sir, you said KFC is a third party tool. What does it mean third party? Third party means it's not in AWS. It want to create AWS resource, but it is not a AWS service. Okay. For example, I'm your trainer. You are my students. I am the first party, you are the second party. If data science student and like come to the class and sit, is third party or not, sir? Why? Because we don't have any relation with him, right? Like that. I hope it is clear for you, Akhil. Yes, but we need to install. I'm going to tell you how to install. Okay. So, guys, alternative for the KOps are Amazon EKS, Minikube, Kubedium, Rancher, and Terraform. Terraform is what you're going to see in the upcoming class. It's going to be very, very amazing tool. Okay. So, let's go and start the creating of KOps. Actually, I created the KOps couple of days ago. The reason I created is I want to show you the cost optimization for KOps actually. So, you don't worry about that one. Here, if you go and see in the all states, are you seeing some running servers here? Seeing it? I intentionally created them couple of days ago. The reason why I create means I want to show you how to optimize the cost. At the end of the class, I'll discuss with you. And again, nobody will know, will don't know like how to optimize the cost of Kubernetes cluster. It's the most advanced level of working in Kubernetes. But as a fresher, you are going to learn how to optimize the cost in the cluster. I bet you nobody will teach you cost optimization technique in the DevOps as well as cloud. But here I'm going to teach you how to optimize your cost, how to reduce your cost. That is what we can call as FinOps. You know, DevOps, just like we have FinOps. FinOps stands for financial operations that related to cloud actually, that you are going to learn. Of course, it's not a part of your syllabus, but I'll teach you. Okay. So let's go for the Mumbai region. So in Mumbai, already my KOps is running. So like what exactly I'm going to do is I'm going to make this Satya, have you removed that server, sir? Oh God, it's done. I think Satya removed the clusters and like then it gone actually entire. Okay, fine. Let it be fine, fine, fine. So let me go and create the main server here. That server name I'm gonna give it as KOps. Like just like normal server, I'm creating KOps. But of course, you can do whatever the name you want. So server, I'm taking Amazon Linux, but of course, if you want to take Ubuntu also, you can take Ubuntu. That's completely fine. Okay. So instance type T2 micro is enough, but if you want to go for T2 medium, that's absolutely fine. Of course, it is cost associated, but okay, we can manage. Key pair, normal key pair, just like our standard use case. All, that's it. Okay. In the meanwhile, like tomorrow is your weekend, right? So what's are your weekend plans? Huh? Eat, sleep, repeat, huh? Don't tell me that one, man. Going to? Oh, you guys are chilling, eh? Nice, nice. That's a good one, actually. I appreciate why because you guys are connecting, actually. I'll appreciate that one. Your team leader, Siraj, huh? He's absent today. Oh, he's there, huh? Oh, okay. Then ask him a job na. He's your team leader, right? Then ask him a job. It's still on pending status. Wait for it. And has anyone attended the AWS workshop today? No. Okay. If you have some time, attend. It will be helpful for you. You attended, huh? So I mean, like, anyways, we are gonna like have the same concepts here in our course. But if you have some time, if you felt like if I attend, I gonna get some knowledge, you can attend. So I think like only one attended, huh? Hmm. Oh, day to demo. So we already discussed 3D architecture, if you remember. Like same concept today. Only that concept, huh? Okay. Free. Can go and attend. I think it's 8 weekends. Ah, I mean like 8 Saturdays only, not complete Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure. I don't know the content also. Still go and check with the admins, okay? Okay. So now come back to the point here. Sir, already we discussed in Linux, we have two type of commands. One is inbuilt command, second one is download command. So download we can do from binary file as well as we can do from package manager. So in Kubernetes, we opt for binary file. So when I download a binary file, first of all, I need to move it to user local bin. I need to give the executable permission. Correct or not, sir? Same concept is gonna follow here. And one of the major thing you need to understand is KOps is third party tool, right? But it want to create the infra on AWS. So we need to give permission or not, sir? Already same concept we applied for Ansible. How I given the permission by using IAM? Which one? In AWS, I'm gonna create the user. For that user, I'm gonna give the access key and secret key. Already we seen this concept or not, sir? Now same concept I'm gonna apply here, and you have the following steps also. Giving the permission. KOps is a third-party tool. If you want to create infra on AWS, AWS need to give the permission for it. So we need to use IAM user to allocate the permission for the KOps tool. Already you know this point, but again I have written on the step number 1 for your even better clarity. So here the following are the steps to create the IAM user, and here you have the steps to get the credentials also. So let's go into, first of all, I'll go to IAM tab here. Identity and access management. So it is going to be one of the like interesting service in AWS, which you are going to see after Kubernetes. Okay. So anybody knows how to create the IAM user here? Yeah, please guide me the process. First of all, we need to go to users. Next, create a user. Username can be like I'm giving KOps. Okay, next. Next only, yeah. Then attach policy directly. Now I need to give admin access. Of course, in real time, we don't give admin access, but here for practical purpose, we can give it. Next. Then create a user. Very simple. Just to click on give username, select the policy, create user. That's it. Now, after you need to go inside the user and how to get the security credentials. Go to the security credential tab. Now I need to get create access key and secret key. Select CLI. And I click on this checkbox. Next. Create and download this one. Before you click on done, you need to download. So I'm downloading. this one to my local. So I have the cops keys in my local. So in future, I can able to reuse them. Now, how to attach these cops keys to my cluster means by using the command AWS configure. Basically, we need to download CLI, but by default, AWS come with default CLI. AWS CLI. So already my CLI is working, but for Ubuntu, AWS CLI will not come by default. So you need to install. If you want me to show how to install CLI, very easy process. Go to Google and type AWS CLI install. Just type that one. Of course, the raw, I have given some spelling mistake. It's okay. Select the Linux operating system, and you can see the 3 commands, right? Simply copy and simply paste them. When in Ubuntu, but for Amazon Linux, it is not required. Inbuilt, we have some CLI, but I just shown you for your clarity actually. So now my CLI is ready. I can be able to go and use it. So now give the command AWS configure. First of all, it is asking AWS access key. So I need to go to this tab and copy the access key, paste it. Next, I need to give the secret access key, copy it and paste it. Next, region, I'm going to create the infrastructure on AP South 1, where I want to create AP. That is in Mumbai region. But if you want Northern Virginia, you can give US East 1. I think you know the code difference. US East 1 means Northern Virginia, AP South 1 means Mumbai. And output I want on table format. Which format? That's it. Now I have given the KOps user permission to my server. That means this server can do whatever it wants. Why? Because this server have the admin access. Which access? So this is my step number 1. What is my step number 1? Giving the permission. So how I have given the permission? By taking the IAM user, by getting the admin access, by giving the AWS configure command. Why we need to give means KOps is third party tool. So definitely third party tool require the AWS permission to create anything in the AWS account. Is the step number 1 clear for all of you? Everybody. Online, can you please confirm me? Is the step number 1 clear for all of you or not? Okay. So now in the step number 2, I'm going to install kubectl, just like how we install kubectl in Minikube. Download the kubectl file, give the executable permission, move to user local bin. And there also we download Minikube. But here instead of Minikube, what I'm downloading? Same process. First command will download the kubectl. Second command will download the KOps. And I'm giving executable permission for KOps as well as kubectl. And I'm moving the kubectl to user local bin, and I'm moving the KOps to user local. That means I'm downloading both KOps and kubectl as a binary file. I am giving the executable permission and I'm moving them to user local bin. So I'm executing all of the commands at the same time. Control C, Control B. That's it. So now automatically it got downloaded. But the only thing is, if I start to check the versions of either cops -- version, or like you can give cops version also. If I use cops version, it won't work. Or even though if I use kubectl version, it won't work. Why? Because there is a small thing you need to understand. In KOps, I mean in Amazon Linux and Ubuntu, if I move a binary file to user local bin in Ubuntu, I need not to specify the path. Ubuntu will take the commands directly. But in Amazon Linux, if I move any binary file to user local bin, definitely I need to specify the path. For only Amazon Linux, but for Ubuntu, it will take automatically. So then how to specify the path means you need to go to the file called .bash rc. So dot is very, very important. So please mention dot, hit enter, come to the last here and give the command export path is equal to $path. Path is equal to $path. That is user local as well as bin. That means I'm telling to my Amazon Linux machine, if I run any command, take the commands from user local bin. Okay, why? Because I moved some commands to user local bin. You please go and execute the command from user local bin. This I need not to tell to Ubuntu, but it is my Amazon Linux. So definitely I need to specify this one. Now save it. and give the command. Again, I'm using a KOPS version, it won't found, and kubectl version also not found. Why? Because after using the dot bash rc, I need to use the command source dot bash rc. If I don't use that one, that is not gonna reboot my system actually. Either you can reboot or you can use source dot bash rc. Anything is fine. Hit enter and now check. Is COPS version getting? Is kubectl version getting now? There you go. Okay. So this is what exactly you need to understand. I have given. Go to dot bash rc. Give this command export path is equal to $path user local bin, and you need to give source dot bash rc. This we need to specify for Amazon Linux, but for Ubuntu it will do automatically. So it is my step number 2. Again, coming back to the base point, step number 1 is going to be giving the permission, and step number 2 is installing the COPS and kubectl. I download them, I given the executable, and I move it to user local bin. But after moving, I have exported the path to .bash rc file, and I have given source.bash rc. Is the step number 1 and clear? 1 and 2 is clear for all of you? Online, what about you guys? Is 1 and 2 clear for all of you? Can you please confirm me online? If it is clear, we can create the cluster now directly. Okay. Great. And now the third point of this cluster creation is we need to create the bucket. What we need to create? But what is a bucket here? In AWS, we have a service called S3 bucket. Which one? If I want to store any kind of objects, if I want to store any kind of object, I need to create the bucket. Bucket you can create manually or you can create from CLI. That means you can create from GUI. From commands also you can create the bucket. So I'm using the commands method. But of course, if you want to create manually, you can go and create manually. Okay. First of all, the reason for creating the bucket is very, very easy. Let me tell you very clearly. Currently, we have a cluster, correct or not, sir? We have the like master node as well as work node, both are interlinking. And in these nodes, we are going to have the pods also. Let's take these are pods actually. And of course, in Kubernetes, master node will not have any pods. Is the base point. Master node will not create any pods. Only worker node will be having the pods itself. Okay. So I'm going to create a bucket actually here. I'm going to create a, what is the purpose of this bucket? You know, it is going to store the complete information of my cluster. That means how many master nodes I have, how many worker nodes I have, what are the pods that I'm having. This entire cluster information I'm going to store inside the bucket. That means in upcoming days, even though if my entire cluster got crashed on, this entire cluster got crashed on actually, this cluster gone, it's not working anymore. Still, I have data on my bucket. From that bucket, I can take the data and I can recreate the same cluster. Simply, it's a backup. What do we call it as? Backup. Okay. For example, if you have a diary, in diary, what you are going to do, you are going to write whatever happening or not, sir. Here also, whatever the things happening on the cluster, that is gonna store in the bucket. In future, if something happened to the cluster, I can be able to take the data back from the bucket. So here I'm using the commands to create bucket, but of course you can also create from GUI. With the help of AWS S3 API, I'm creating the bucket, and bucket name is DevOps by Raham 6 p.m. But I'm gonna change it to DevOps by Raham, like DevOps batch. Your batch started on which month? Hey man, I'm asking month. May na? May 29, 2024. Okay, I'm just giving the batch name here. And one more thing, if you try to use the same name, this name will not work for you. Why? Because this name already I'm using now. So you need to use some other name actually. So please make sure that you are giving some different name, not the same name I'm giving in the class itself. So I'll copy this one. With the help of S3 API, I'm creating the bucket on like so and so with name. And region, I'm going to create an AP South 1 itself, where I'm creating AP South 1. Okay. So let me give the region name as AP South 1. Fine. So I need to execute this command and it need to be worked. Like the one thing I need to tell for you is in AP South 1 buckets won't create properly. That is the only difference. But okay, wait. Calling the bucket operation. I'll go and create an US East 1 also, but I want to create this on AP South 1. Let me check with some other name. Un unspecified location constant. Okay. So guys, in practice, you also going to get the same thing. So if you change the region, then it is going to work for you. So just to give US East one, US East one, it will work now. The only disadvantage is whenever if you are trying to create the buckets on Mumbai, it will have this kind of issues sometimes. Of course, you can go and create manually, but from the CL it is going to happen. So just go and create an US East one. So here also I'm gonna change it to US East one. Just use Control Z. Everything come to US East one. Okay. So currently where is my bucket? It is on US East one itself. Fine. So after that, here I'm going to enable the bucket versioning. What is the meaning of bucket versioning? In this bucket, if I put a data, like for example, let's take I'm gonna put a file inside of the bucket. What I'm gonna put? File. If I delete this file, I cannot able to retrieve this file. But if I enable versioning, even though if I delete the file, I can be able to recover. To recover the objects from the bucket, we are going to enable versioning. What we are going to enable, sir? So with the help of AWS S3, I am putting the bucket versioning for the bucket, so and so bucket in the region US S2A, and I am enabling the versioning configuration. But you need not to remember these commands, guys. Just understand the process. Okay. No need to remember the commands. So bucket versioning got enabled. Wait. Think bucket name is wrong. I need to give the name Raham. Starting, I have given the name Raham. Let me add this one, Raham. So bucket versioning is enabled specified, but yes, yeah. I changed the name, right? Sorry. Raham, yes, I need to give. So now it will work. Is the bucket versioning enabled now? Yes. In the same bucket name, I need to replace everywhere because it's gonna match with some different name. And again, you need to give some different name, guys. I hope so. You know this one, all of you. Right? It's not copied. Huh? Wait. So please make sure that everyone is giving some unique name. Okay. Why? Because buckets are globally accessible. You cannot give the same name where others are using the bucket. Okay. So lastly, I'm exporting the data. Cop state export means whatever the data I'm having in this cluster, export the data to the bucket. These are the 3 steps. Okay. Again, you need to remember these comments, understand the process. Here I'm creating the bucket. Purpose is to show the cluster data. First command will create the bucket. Second command will enable the bucket versioning. Why means in bucket, if I delete data, so automatically what is going to happen, if I delete data, I'm going to recover it. But if I enable versioning, I can recover. But if I don't enable versioning, I cannot able to recover. And third one, I'm exporting the data of my cluster to the bucket itself. So is the step number 3 clear for all of you now? Online, can you please confirm me? Is the step number 3 clear for all of you? Of course, you can do this from GUI also, but I am saying from CLI because in upcoming days, I'm going to run the script that will go with the script actually. And final stage is nothing but creating the cluster. It is my final step actually. With the help of cops, I am creating the cluster. With the help of cops, what I am doing, creating the cluster. What is the name of the cluster? rahams.kts.local. That is the name of the cluster. Okay. Zones. I am creating it on which is on US East 1A. How many masters I need for the cluster? 1. And what is the master size here? T2 medium. And how many worker nodes I am creating? 2. What is the worker node size? That's it. Again, I'll explain. With the help of KOps, I'm going to create the cluster. The name of the cluster is rahams.kts.local. Zones and availability zone, I'm going to take it as US East 1A. Master count. So I'm using a master node as 1 with a master size of T2 medium. And I'm giving worker node count to with the size of T2 micro. So if you execute this single command, automatically KOps can go and create the cluster. You need not to do anything. This is the only command you need to run. Remaining things are prerequisite that you do only one time. Okay. Now see. You can see this is going to create my entire new cluster actually. So what exactly I'm going to do is I need not to do anything. Here basically, if you want to modify anything about your worker node, you can run this command. And if you want to modify anything about your master node, you can use this command. Or if you want to modify anything about your cluster, you can run this command. But I am saving all of these commands here to use it in previous topics, okay? Like, sorry, upcoming topics. So now, once if you are comfortable, the only thing you're gonna do is copy paste the last comment. If you copy paste the last comment, automatically your cluster is going to create it. What is going to create? Cluster. But before that, I want to make sure there are already some previous servers running on my US East one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just rename them. I'm gonna rename them as dummy 1, dummy 2, dummy 3. Why? Because you should not be confusing while I'm showing the clusters for you, okay? So these are the normal servers that is running here. So I just go and I just rename as dummy 1, dummy 2, dummy 3. Okay. So I'll go here. Dummy 1. Dummy 2. And dummy 3. So forget about this. Okay. Let's wait for the new servers to come. And after if you run this command, now the only thing you need to run is cops validate cluster. So it is going to take exactly 5 minutes. I'm going to connect with you in the next 5 minutes. Okay. In the 5 minutes, current time is 5:07. Exactly at 5:12, our complete cluster is going to provision. So wait for it. In the meanwhile, you'll get lot of errors. Please ignore them. Okay. So online, wait for exactly 5 minutes. Okay. So in the background, you can see what is happening, but you don't know what is exactly going on. Don't worry. I'll explain everything after the cluster got created. Okay. Wait for some time. And one more thing, guys. Here I already have the KOps cluster in Mumbai region. That is not a part of cluster. This is the different server which manage the cluster. Okay. So here in this diagram, I have the cluster. Na? I'm going to create one more server. This is KOps server. This KOps server will manage the cluster. Okay. That means if I want to interact this cluster, I need to interact with KOps. Okay. But this is not a part of cluster itself. So please make sure this point. Okay. So we need to wait for till a couple of minutes. And sometimes due to internet issue, it will take like 1 or 2 minutes extra. Depends upon like your speed also sometimes. Not regularly, very, very often, I can say. So all of you done with Docker project, huh? Got the output, sir? Suppose what about you? Got the output, huh? Yeah. Hmm. It's taking more than expected time. I think so. We are already having a cluster running, right? It might be the reason why it is taking more time. But okay, let's wait for some other time. Check. Guys, we are having a certificate issue here. Certificate authority. It's not what we expected. I think so. Like we are already having a running cluster. That is the thing that might be we are affecting. Okay, let's wait for some other time. Basically, it need to create cluster by this time. But here already I have the cluster. Na? That might be the reason we are getting effect actually. But let's wait for a few more minutes. If the issue continue, I'll remove the old cluster and let's provision the same cluster again. But let's check. Wait, I think so. We are running with a bad issue. Wait, let me run the command. It's taking a lot of time. And wait, I'll create the cluster in some different region. Wait, Ops create the cluster. Name of the cluster is gonna be Raham DevOps cluster, and I'm gonna create an AP South 1A. AP South 1A. Hit enter now. Guys, what I'm trying to do is already I have given the same name actually in the same region. So cluster got duplicated. Already one cluster is running, right? So same properties I have given for the same cluster. That is it, it's not creating. So I'm changing the region from US East 1 to AP South 1 with some different name. Now it will create, okay? Basically, we need to get the cluster by this time, but unfortunately duplication got found. But in practice, you don't get this issue, okay? Don't worry about it. So now run the cops update cluster. Similarly, what we ran in the last part. Now wait for some time. So it will take exactly 5 minutes if everything is fine. What purpose in doubt? Huh? Hmm? You're just waiting for what? 5 minutes already done, but the cluster is not yet done. Hmm. Hmm. Wait. The worst part is basically it's gonna create very speedily, but for only your class, it's taking more than 10 minutes actually. It will create within 4 minutes, but I don't know like why it is taking this much of time. Huh? Hmm. Unfortunately, we are getting the issues also like a lot of errors. We should not get this kind of errors, but I think Siraj has done something today. Getting this much of issues. Today, no class, huh? Hmm. Black magic. Huh? Basically in India, we have a place called Mayong in Assam, Assam, Mayong. Mayong. That is famous for black magic. Even if you go and ask every small kid also, they'll do black magic actually. You know this one? You don't know this one, huh? Let me show you. If you go to here, like type Assam village. Have you seen this one? This is a village actually, like which is gonna perform black magic. If you go and see, what is Mayang famous for? Mayak famous for its black magic. Kala Jadam. In Telugu we call it Shatabadi actually. Okay. Unfortunately our cluster is running. So I'm sad for Siraj. It will come, sir. Wait, wait. Hmm. It's coming, Then please take the door. It will come inside. It's coming, na. Hmm? Oh, then go and open it. So if you can see here, the master node is ready. Are you seeing it ready now? So previously, the reason why it is not worked is I created the cluster already. So I'm trying to create the same cluster. I haven't checked the name of the cluster. Okay, that is the reason why I got the error. But after changing the region, it's working fine. But for you in practical, it won't get any kind of issue. You don't need to worry about that one. But I want to show you the cost optimization. That is the reason I kept alive. Basically, I can terminate, but I want to show you the cost optimization dashboard actually. Yeah? Okay. So now if you go and see, if I give the command cops get cluster, okay, my cluster is ready. If I get the command cops get cluster, is my cluster ready now? You can see it top. Is my cluster ready? See, I have two clusters actually, but I want to access the Raham DevOps cluster. If I go and give the command kubectl get node, NO stand for node. Am I getting the nodes here? Okay, forget about this cluster. This is the removed cluster actually. Don't worry about this one. So this is my cluster. I have one master node and two worker nodes. If I go here, if I click on refresh, I'll be getting a master and I'll be getting a worker node. What is the best feature of this thing? I ran only one command, but that one command has created the servers. It create the auto scaling group. It create the load balancers. Okay, automatically. And even though if you go for VPC here, automatically for that cluster, my VPC got created. If you go and check here, if I go and check it in the VPC section, are you seeing the rahamdevops.kts.local? My VPC got created and I'm gonna filter. I'm gonna filter the properties of the VPC. What is my VPC ID here? So the ID is last it's ending with 32. So I can go ahead and check this one. So for this VPC, I have my subnets here. You can see the subnets got created and you can see the route table got created and you can see the internet gateway also got created. And apart from that, what is the one of the most exciting feature about this KOps, if I delete a worker node, what will happen, automatically it is going to recreate the same worker node with same properties. See it lively. Have I removed the worker node? Wait for exactly couple of minutes. This node will terminate and after that I'll get the new worker node. Just see this one. And it is automatic process. We don't do anything. Everything is going to manage by the KOps itself. So check it out. Currently I marked it there like a shutdown here. But after a couple of minutes, you're going to see the new worker node with same name but different ID. Okay. Again, this I'm going to explain separately in the concept of auto scaling group. That is your AWS part actually, which is the upcoming concepts for you. But for as of now, just stick with it. Okay. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes. Correct. If you go and see is the new node coming or not, sir? Yes, wait for until it got work. So if you go and see, the new node comes into the place actually. But if I go to give the command kubectl get node, still I'm getting two nodes only. The reason is here this node is still initializing. Which status? After I get 2 by 2 checks only, then only I'll get the second node. Here only one node is coming or not, sir? Wait for some time again until I get 2 by 2 checks. Online, just give me a couple of minutes. I'm just interacting with the offline here. Definitely, that need to be happen. That need to be happen definitely. Even I asked the people also to do the same thing. Sir, nobody is recognizing me. Please post a picture of me. Fine. I won't use that, Amma. I use some other thing. Now, are you getting two way to checks here? And if I go and get kubectl get node, are you getting two nodes? Yes. And even the same process, if I go and terminate the master node, automatically I'll be getting the new node itself. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. Again, the new node will come. Okay. And in the meanwhile, I'll tell the first day of my class here. I came to Nareshit in the day one actually. I have given the demo. After giving the demo, we have an admin here. I don't know his name actually. So I was coming out of the class. So these people are taking feedback. How's the faculty? Is he teaching good and everything? So after everyone left the class, I was the last person who is leaving the class, and he asking me like I was going slightly, and he's asking me, "Hey boy, stop." I was like, okay. Then after that, he asked me, "You attend the demo now? How is Ramsar teaching?" He asking my feedback from myself actually. Attend the class now. Is Ramsar teaching good? Is he teaching levels up to the mark? Are you satisfied? Then I was like, I'm satisfied. Then after going to couple of steps again some other trainer came actually. He said he was the Ramsar actually. So like this, lot of things happen to me here. Not only here, like everywhere I go, these things used to be happen. Even some other times I go as guest faculty also to teach to the corporate institute. I mean, like not institute, corporate companies actually. I have given like in-house training also, not few years ago. At that time also, these people like who was the trainer? I was a trainer. I need to tell to everyone that I was a trainer actually. So like these kind of things happen everywhere. Even sometimes it can happen with you also. Okay, at that time. Please make sure that you are going to describe yourself properly. Okay. It's the most awkward feeling, right? Yeah. So now if I go and see, currently I removed the master node. So, and even if I wait for a couple of minutes, I'll be getting the master node again. But here if we can go and see, is it provisioning the master node? Not yet. Go for instances. Are you getting the master node here? No. If I go and give the command, kubectl will get node. Am I getting it now? Is the command working? No. Unable to connect to the server. Basically, I removed the server in front of you only, right? But why it is not recreating? Is it recreating? It will recreate, but we need to wait for some time. If you go and see, already my auto scaling group is having one server. If I go and see the activities here, let me go for activity. Basically, you don't know what is this one, but no need to worry about this one. In the activity, I need to check it successfully created, and after that, it got terminated also. Wait. Launching, terminated, launching. It's launching actually, and replace it at what time? 5:33, it got a start time. Yeah, it's created, but it is not showing in the UI. Wait. Are you getting it now? So sometimes it will create, but it won't show on the UI. So no need to worry. Automatically it will recreate. But to show on UI, it will take some time. Currently, what is the status here? So we need to wait till it get 2 by 2 check. One more thing, if you don't have master node, your cluster will not work. It's like captainless cricket team. If there is no captain, how the team will work, sir? Same here also. Okay. And what is 2 by 2 checks here in your server? Already we discussed. One is the system check. Second one is instance check. System check will like one check will perform the network connection. Second check will perform the operating system, hardware and everything. Okay. Make sure you are giving this explanation properly at the interview panel. Or otherwise, if you don't know, let me show it to you here. If you have a confusion, go to checks and alarms. Here, click on info. If you click on info, system check. This check verify your instance is reachable. That means Amazon is to test that network. First one is about your network is properly configured or not. Second one is gonna check the hardware. Instance check means this check verify the instance operating system and hardware is properly aligned or not. That's it. So wait for a couple of minutes. Now go and check kubectl get node. So again, it will take some time to replicate, but you don't have to worry. But the whole point you need to understand is if you create a cluster, okay, automatically with the help of single command, it doesn't matter. Your servers got terminated or stopped. Automatically, my auto scaling group is gonna be recreated. Is it the best feature or not, sir? Yes. And in a special case, we can also scale our cluster. Basically, scaling will comes under the admin level activities. But as a freshers, for you, I'm going to teach you how to deal with the cluster activities. First one, if you want to scale your worker nodes, already we have the commands cops edit IG, name of the cluster you need to give, and I want to edit the worker node. So give node US East 1A. It is the predefined command already you get while creating the cluster. If I go here, you can see something called as suggestions here. Are you seeing suggestions here? Okay, so what I do is generally I'll copy paste them actually. So if you want to edit your node worker nodes, so you need to run this command. Okay, I need to run this command actually. Let me go and copy them again. So I'm copying them and I'm using the same thing here, suggestions. Okay. But the only difference is my cluster name is changed now. Previously it is ramesh.kds.local, but it is some with some other name. Okay, fine. Sir, now if I want to edit the worker nodes information, cops edit the instance group called rahamdevops.kts.local, and I want to edit the worker nodes. If I mention node, that is worker node. If I mention master, that is going to be my master node, like that. I'll copy them and I'm gonna paste it here. But before that, let me check the nodes here. Still my master is getting a status initializing. Sometimes it will take couple of minutes additionally. So we need to wait for it. We cannot do any other alternative for it. So definitely we need to wait until the master comes into the online. See, your comments is not working. Why it is not working, sir? Because your master is not ready yet. So if I give the command cops get cluster, my cluster will be ready. Okay. But if I use kubectl get cluster, kubectl get nodes, my nodes is not still accepting. Why? Because my master is yet to create and yet to join the cluster. So if you want to scale the worker nodes, actually you can scale them. But I think so like scaling, we can do it today and tomorrow. Okay, acha, let's do one thing. Scaling we can do tomorrow actually. Why? Because it's enough for today. Like already we got issue and we are wasted some time now. So if I make it more length, it's gonna be very difficult for you. So I'll stop it here. And one more thing, if you create a cluster and if you want to delete them, please don't delete manually. Your manually commands is not gonna delete cluster. So you need to run the command call cops delete cluster. This is the command actually. Here I have given the note actually. Okay. It's my humble request for all of you not to delete the cluster manually and not to delete any servers using the below command to the cluster. That means if you try to delete manually, it is going to recreate. I shown you or not, sir? I removed the server how manually, but automatically it got. So definitely you are going to use the command cop delete cluster and name of the cluster. If you use this command, then only your cluster will be going to delete. Or otherwise, if you try to remove the cluster manually, it will never delete until your lifetime. You keep delete, that will keep creating. Again, if you keep delete, again that is going to recreate. So the whole process is going to be repeated actually for a number of times, but you won't get the desired output. Your cluster is never going to delete actually. I need to get this response. Yeah. Of course, it is responding now. Fine. I'll do the scaling also. Let me tell the scaling concept. It take only a couple of minutes. Currently, how many worker nodes you are having, sir? 2 worker nodes. If I give this command, ops get cluster. I have 2 clusters. Okay. Cop kubectl get node. Okay. Again, these worker nodes are ready. Like this need to come on ready status. We need to wait for some other time again. Array man. See, currently you are using the status now. Status is currently here. Not ready. Why? Because I'll tell you the concept actually. This is very, very depth concept. It is my previous master node and these are my previous worker nodes. These already connected. Now I remove the server and I recreate the new node or not, sir. Now this new node need to connect to my old servers actually. Okay, if this not connect to the old servers, it is not gonna communicate with them. That is the reason why we are taking this much of time. Basically, I can skip that concept and I can tell you directly the comment, but it doesn't give any kind of knowledge. Okay, again, I'm explaining. Initially, it is my cluster, which is the master node. These are the worker node 1 and it is my worker node 2. I delete the master node 1 and I created the master node 2. Now this master node need to communicate with worker node and worker node 2. So internally it will take some time. That is the reason you are seeing the nodes are currently not ready. So we need to wait until it got ready status. But again, it's a long process. So we don't have any other alternative. So definitely we need to wait. We'll wait for 5 minutes. If that is not ready, don't worry. I'll tell this concept tomorrow. Okay. So, but in the meanwhile, is the concept of creating cluster, everything clear for all of you? How I am creating the cluster. But in the same concept, whatever we discussed to create the cluster, tomorrow I'm going to create within 5 minutes. I have a script. If you run that script, that's enough. Automatically your cluster is going to provision. Okay. Now you can see, is it ready now? Simply now go and execute the command. So this is the command. This is already given by Kubernetes. We need not to remember any command. Already this command will be printed on the screen. Copy paste the command. Array. Cops edit IG. Cops edit IG. I'm giving correct only, right? Oh, I have given an AP South. Wait. AP South one. I need to change the region. Basically, command is correct, but the thing is, instead of US East one, I need to give AP South one. I changed the region, right? So AP South one. Cop I have given this couple of times. Don't worry about these errors, guys. Hit enter. Now, if you go and see what is the minimum and maximum size? 2. Sir, I want to make it as 4 worker nodes. How many worker nodes? Remove 2 and put 4. Here also 4. And what is the instance time type here? T2. If I want to make it T2 medium, make it as T2 medium. And currently I'm using Ubuntu image. No, sir, I want Red Hat. Make it Red Hat. Whatever changes you want, make the changes. After making the changes, again you are going to run the update command. Which command? Here you have the command actually. Cops update cluster, name of the cluster, -- yes, admin. The moment if you do update, automatically the nodes are going to be increase. That means from the 2, I am going to get how many worker nodes now? 4 worker nodes. If you go and check on the UI, but before that we need to run one more command also. Wait for it. Yes, Vikram, automatically it can come. Okay. So with the help of cops rolling cluster, now if I perform this one, if you go here and check, the moment if I get refresh, my new servers will be provisioned. But before that, I'll explain. First of all, you need to edit the instance group. Next, you need to update and you need to run the cops rolling update cluster. Yes. These are already inbuilt commands of Kubernetes. You simply copy paste them and execute them. So you need not to by heart anything actually. Why? Because today you are seeing a lot of new commands. No? So don't please have some fear in your mind. These commands will automatically given by Kubernetes. If I click on refresh, am I getting 2 new servers here? Worker node 1, worker node 2, worker node 3 and worker node 4. How it is coming? Because I modified the file, configuration file. That is instance group of worker nodes. Automatically it is coming or not, sir? Like that. Similarly, if I don't want the 2, I don't want the additional 2. I want only initial 2. What I can do again? Cops edit. In the edit, instead of 4, what I want to put now? 2. And here also 2. And after that, you need to run the update command. Edit, update, roll. Okay. So just now my editing is done. Now I'm going for update. And after updating is done, now finally I'm going to do the roll itself. Let me show you. If you don't do rolling, it is not going to happen for you. So definitely rolling is going to be very, very mandatory for all of you. So you can go and see. Again, I'll be getting the rolling command. So run this command to apply the changes. Now again, instead of 4 servers, how many servers will I get now? Now if you go and check, these running servers are going to terminate. Click on refresh. Gone or not, sir, immediately? Like that, you can scale the cluster as per your requirement. You can scale it automatically and you can scale it manually also. But again, this is the work of the cluster administrator. Cluster administrator means at least you need to have 5 to 6 years of experience. But here you are learning these concepts in a fresher level. So you can understand the depth of the subject, what you are going to take from me. Okay. So this is the way how exactly we have created the cluster. In today's class, we have seen the KOps concept. KOps is a multi-node cluster. With the help of single command, we can create the entire cluster itself. Okay. So here we have one master and 2 worker nodes. You simply run the configuration script. In this configuration script, you given the command to create the cluster. After creating the cluster, you have seen how the cluster is created. And I done some scaling activities also. How to scale the master and how to scale the worker node. How the nodes are recreating from the background and everything. After if you done with everything, the last thing is you are going to delete the cluster. This is the command. If you try to delete manually, it is not going to delete for you. So definitely you are going to use the command itself. Command is cops delete cluster, name of the cluster and -- yes. If you give like this, then only the cluster will go, sir. Otherwise, your cluster will not be deleted and you are going to get billing also. And again, today I need to show you billing also, but don't worry, tomorrow I'll show you. Because today it's almost all enough actually. We have learned a lot of stuff. In termination, if you terminate, charges are not going to happen. So if you go and see is the resource terminating or not, sir? Even though if you go and see, if I click on refresh, I won't see resource. Gone or not, sir? Like that. So if you try to do the manual process for deleting, it will never delete. Okay, that is going to keep running. You are going to keep deleting. That's it. Hourly basis, yeah. Dollars only. So that's it for today's session. So in today's session, which topic we have seen? KOps. KOps stand for Kubernetes operation. What are the steps we have seen to install KOps here? First of all, we have given the permission, IAM permission. Next, after that, we have given kubes and kubectl installation. Third one, we create the bucket, and final one, we are creating the cluster. Sir, what is the purpose of creating bucket? Even if your cluster got removed, you have data inside the bucket. Let's go and see, do you have data inside our bucket or not? Clearly, you are seeing the cluster got terminated. Are you seeing the cluster got terminated? Now, even if I go to my bucket, where is my bucket? I want to check my bucket. So today is July 13. It is my bucket name. If I go and click on this one, am I seeing data here? Am I seeing it data or not, sir? Yes. So automatically, if I want, I can restore the data back also. Like this is the purpose of creating the bucket, or otherwise the bucket is not required. But it is very, very safe method to put the bucket in our AWS console to get the data of cluster. So that is the whole and sole concept of the KOps. Now, before going for doubts and queries, first of all, how's the class for all of you today? Is the class clear for all of you? Automated class? Tomorrow, I'm gonna show the same concept within 5 minutes. Why? Because we have the automated scripts now. I use the scripts and I'm gonna show everything for you. Online, how's the class for all of you guys? Can you please confirm me in chat box? Is it clear for all of you? Hmm. The video will never on. One day, it unfortunately, turned on actually. One day. Yeah. That's it. So now if you are having any kind of doubts or queries, guys, you can ask me now. Any doubts or any queries from your end? Yeah, please. Automatically, it will going to increase the scale actually. So if you want to see the pricing of your cluster, there is a KubeCost website. Let me go and log in actually. Alright. It's not coming with login page. There is a login page, man. I want to see the login page here. Get started. Okay. It is showing me the installation, but I want to get the login page. Already in my previous laptop, the login is enabled. No. Already in my previous session, that is logged in actually. That's what I'm checking for. Here, if you go and see, sign into the KubeCost Cloud. Yeah, this is the link actually. I need to go and check. Already I have registered and logged into my GitHub account. If you go to GitHub, already I have given it for my GitHub actually. It is DevOps by Raham. Okay. Let me give the password. So click on authorize KubeCost. So guys, already couple of days ago, I have, what is happening? I forgot the password, but I have already authenticated, man, with the Google. Let me log in with Google. The worst part is I forget the passwords all the time actually. Why? Because I'm giving multiple password to a lot of people, na? Wait. Monitor. It's gone actually. No, here it is my account only. But unfortunately, here I'm not able to see my previous cluster actually. Wait. Like what happened means like this, what we call this. Satyaveni removed the previous cluster actual running. That is the reason I'm not able to see data actually. Here in this account, I already added my cluster previously, but here it is telling that it's not working. Why? Because she removed the KOps server. Like she or me, I'm not sure. That got removed. That is the reason it's not showing. But don't worry, in the class, I'm gonna show you how to use it. Okay, what? Price, huh? As of now, you don't get any price. Why? Because it is less than 1 hour, na? It will give price for 1 hour generally $0.006. Of course, for 20 minutes also you will get, but it's very negligible actually. That's it. So in upcoming days, I'm gonna show you how to see the KubeCost account. So I'm gonna make it a bookmark as of now because I forgot the password definitely. So I'm gonna make it as bookmark. In the future sessions, I'm gonna show you how to install KubeCost on our cluster and how to optimize the cost also. Okay, that's it. It is free trial only for 27 days. It is free trial KubeCost account, but after that you need to pay amount for it. We can register. You can do it. But in companies, how many mails you are going to use? That's what I'm telling. Don't be pisnary. Okay, company will provide lot of amount for you. Okay, you know the budget of company actually. Oh, Satyavani, sorry. I think like I removed that. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry for it. Okay, Kapil, can you elaborate FinOps in short? Definitely, I'll take a separate session on it. I won't finish it within 5 minutes. Okay, Kapil, as per your requirement, I'll take some separate class on it. And Vikram, bill generated for AWS account, sir. Is it less only? No, see, guys, I'm telling you. Of course, if you are using free resource, also you are going to get some billing. No need to pay bill. If we have that, if you want to pay the bill, for example, you got $10 to $20. If you want to pay the bill, don't pay the bill. Pay that bill to me. I'll give the new account for you. Previously, I have a student actually. She's from US actually. She got the billing of $125 actually. She's asking me, sir, I want to pay the bill actually. Instead of paying the bill, you can recreate a new account, right? Said, no, sir, I want to use this same account only. Why? Because this account has a lot of my previous servers. Of course, in new account also, you can create the server. Na? So I'll recommend everyone not to pay the bill. Okay. You can recreate the same account. I mean, like say no different account and you can use the same service also. And one more thing is, I'll tell you one thing actually. For my previous account, I got the billing of 1,97,000 rupees. And some other thing, huh? They won't file any kind of case. Okay. I got the billing of 1,97,000, but I haven't paid that bill. Because it's not my account, it's my student account. And of course, eventually he also haven't paid the bill, but it's okay. Okay. So every account will have the billing section, guys. If you want me to show the billing section, go to Satya account, go for billing and cost management section. Here, you can go and check the billing activities. So if you go and see currently the month to date cost, how much billing we are having. But no need to worry, like it's completely fine. These people are not going to cut the money, okay? And Satya, you know to like need not to worry about anything. You can terminate the account and you can recreate, okay? But please don't pay the bill, okay? Okay, so in Northern Virginia, I have some servers. I'm gonna delete them. See, if you want to delete them, first of all, you need to go and remove the auto scaling groups. I removed the auto scaling groups. That's the only reason servers got removed. Otherwise, it is not going to remove in the real-time aspect. So the notes I'm gonna give it for you in Google Classroom. How to check free leftovers? You can go to the services in your AWS console in the billing management, and you can check how many hours are left. Vikram, everything you can explore on the dashboard itself. For example, you want to check your EC2 service. So go here and go for the estimation cost. Highest you get for EC2 actually. For EC2, you get lot of amount. So for EC2, how much you got the billing? $15. EC2 others, you get some other billing. Okay. So tax, everything you can go. You can go to the free tier actually. In the free tier section, you can be able to see how much of free tier savings you have still left. 14 services offer in use. You can check how many hours are left. For example, 30 GB per month for free of 12. So it's completely done for this month actually. For next month you can use. You can check the monthly usage of your AWS each and every service. Hope it is clear for you. But again, I'm telling guys, if you get some billing, no need to worry about it. These people are not going to cut money. If AWS cut the money, you can request a refund actually. Okay. But again, if you want to recreate the account, so Satya, it depends upon your choice. If you want to recreate the account with some different ID, you can recreate. So I'm going to give the notes for all of you. That's it. So still any doubts or any queries from your end? Nothing, huh? So online, any queries or any doubts from your end? Geo. We'll do it. But the best part is he bought all the global stars into single place actually. Justin Bieber and like a lot of people. John Cena, our childhood hero. So that's it, guys, from my end. So if you are having any further more queries, you can feel free to ask. Please go ahead. Yeah. Uh, if you delete a server, load balancer is going to remove that server. But auto scaling group again recreate that one. You need to remove the complete auto scaling group. If you remove the complete auto scaling group, the servers are going to remove. Okay. If your servers is associated with auto scaling group, you need to remove the auto scaling groups, not the servers. Okay. If you remove auto scaling, that is going to remove servers automatically. Okay. So any more further queries from you? Nothing, yeah? Sure. Yeah. Hmm. Either like this concept, ne? If you practice, it will come actually. See, it is day one. Na. Tomorrow also, I'm going to teach the same concept. So entire Kubernetes will come with this concept only. Don't worry. If you, the reason why I said this concept, tomorrow is a holiday anyways. So it is very difficult concept, I know. But if you put some practice for the Monday session, it's going to be very easy for you. That is the reason I said this topic today only. But again, it is very, very advanced. It's not difficult. It is advanced. If I teach you simple concepts, you will be happy. I will be happy. But ultimately, who is going to lose the subject here? So don't feel it is difficult. It is depth what exactly I'm teaching. Okay. I can run the script directly. If you go to my GitHub account, let me go ahead and show you. If you go to GitHub, Braham Sheikh, all setups. Are you seeing the KOP script here? Okay. Directly what I can do, I can run this script will execute within 5 minutes, your concept will done. But ultimately, background, what is happening? Are you able to catch it up? No, that is the reason. First today, everything I'll tell manually. Then only I'll go for. If I directly go to automation, I can save a lot of time. You will feel it is very amazing. But at the end of the day, who will lose the subject here? That is the main point you need to understand. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Uh, that remind me on Jenkins. Whenever I say Jenkins, I think in few days. That's what I'm telling. Okay. Remind me at Terraform actually. In Terraform again, I'm gonna use Jenkins actual. At that time, I'll tell you. Okay. Yep. So in this weekend, what exactly we are gonna do is just practice the KOPs. Okay. I mean, give me 1 second. Okay, only now. Thanks for joining. Let's meet on Monday session. It's a new topic. Have a great day. Bye. All.